themselves.
There we go. All right, here we go. Welcome to the July 11th Learn and Earn with Molly and Team Onward. And for the summer, a few of our friends and family here from the Onward No Matter What group. You're asking everybody if you will mute yourself so we're not getting any feedback, reverb from me. When you want to talk, talk. Somebody is not muted because I can hear myself 3 times. You know, that's
It's probably
scurry.
me.
That's
I,
scurry. No, Lee,
I'm trying. I'm trying to find me.
I got you, baby. Did you see it? And Lee, you're going to be talking a lot, so you okay. No, I can't hear you. Unmute you, baby. Find out where that button is. There you go.
Boom.
Now you know where it's at. Boom. Okay.
It was on the screen.
We are at this point, as everybody knows, we are 1 week away from campaign 14 ending. How's your campaign going? Inez, how's your campaign going? She knew I was going to call on her. She's good. There she goes. Now, look, it's okay. Look, it's summertime. I need y'all to know. 20 years into this business, summertime is the time you got to work it harder than you've ever worked it. The only other time I know that you have to work that hard is January, after we've just had the Christmas rushes, but you do. Not because you're doing anything wrong, because everybody else's world is upside down. Kids are out of school, people are taking vacation, graduations, colleges, all of that stuff. So what you've got to do is stay more in touch with your customers and quit thinking that you're bugging them. I would like to think that if you're bugging them, I got no problem saying, could you knock it off? Quit calling me. Stop it. I got me. It's all right. And while you're at it, kind of pay attention. If you have a team, pay attention if that's the attitude you get. You do realize, oh, Susan Weiss is on the call. Hey, Susan.
Can you see me?
No, but I can hear you.
I don't know why my camera's not working on my computer or on my phone.
Normally it's a little button you normally have to turn on.
We're working on it. It's just not behaving.
That's my door.
I'm just glad you're here.
I'm here. I was there before, but I had to sign off to try again.
You know, I thought it was some alternate personality because I think I allowed you in like 5 times. I said, we got 5 Susans tonight. I don't know what's happening, but we got 5 Susans tonight. But it is all okay. All right, let's get back to this. So if you have a team, you know what? Let them know that you're there. You know, people say, well, Molly, do you contact your people on your team? Like, do you call them like every campaign? I have 557 people on my team. Are you crazy? No, I don't do that. But this is what I love. What I do is I give them access to me. I need them to know that I love mind reading, but I'm not very good at it. And if you need something, you are never bothering me. And what happens is, you're going to have good relationships with some people. You're going to have amazing relationships with other people. And you're going to have some people who are going to treat you just like you're the teacher. When they run into something, they're going to say, hey, this is what I need. And they know who to come to. Kind of like a lot of you treat Onward. When you want something, what do? You come and you ask each other. But I don't believe in one rule for everybody. I just don't. I could probably give you a difference with every single person on my team, every single one. And they all know exactly where I am. And here's the goal. The goal is that they know exactly where you are in their business. Where do you stand at in their business? And then leave the rest up to them, because in the end, if you plan on holding their hand the whole time, that's what they're going to do the rest of their business. Is not move without you. And that's not being a leader. A leader is definitely saying, you know what, I am here to help you and to let you know This isn't always cupcake material here. Sometimes it is hard. Sometimes it's not like going and buying the store-bought cupcake. Sometimes you got to go buy all the ingredients and put it together and cook it. And that's not always easy. So so know that we jump all around. I would love to tell you that every time I get on here that we have a wonderful, and you've seen them in the YouTubes. You see if sometimes we will make it for a few months all about the recognition. When we're getting close to the end of the year, I want people to know where they're at, and that's what we do. And sometimes what I plan to talk about, we never talk about because somebody will bring something up. My gosh, Amy did it a couple of trainings ago, where she was talking about what she's doing now because how the pandemic had changed her business and how she was doing it. And before you know it, everybody was talking about how things had changed and what we were doing in order to prepare for a new way of business. So you're going to get a lot of different things when you come on here. And I need my team not to be shy. I know there's a lot of faces here that you don't know. But you know what? The people who've shown up here are the people you need to get to know. Because these are people who are after the same thing that you're after. You just want to be successful at your business. You just want to know that you're not the only one frustrated when Avon gets it wrong. You want to know that you're not crazy and why are you still staying when everybody else is telling you you should leave, right?
Hey, Boo.
Yeah.
I think people need to not be afraid to ask questions. Ask your customers, how can I serve you better? Send them an email, send them a text message. Ask your team, how can I serve you better? How can I be a better leader to you? The answers are going to be scary. There are always going to be some people that are negative and tell you suck. There are going to be some people tell you they're great. The real information's in between there. And it'll help you as a person. So that's my piece.
Amen, Lee. Amen.
Yeah, it's great. It's great advice. It really is. Sometimes they do need a little nudge, you know. Do you know what I hear? People always say to me, it's amazing. We'll be talking, we'll be texting, or we'll be talking on the phone, and they'll say, I'll really try not to call you or text you. I really don't want to bother you. Now, I could say, okay, have a great day. But what they really want to know is, are they going to be bothering you? And my thing is always, why do you think I'm here? I am here. I am here to help you. There's no stupid questions. How many times have you heard me say that? There are no stupid questions in this business. And the key is to let people know you're available. And like Lee said, I'm not just talking about being a leader. I'm talking about being a representative that people get. I had a lady last week who called me and she said, she left a message. I thought it was a spam call. And she left a message and she said, I'm looking for some Avon. She says, and I live in Mooresville. Now understand, Mooresville doesn't mean a lot to a lot of people, but it's about 35, 40 minutes from here. And she said, I had an Avon lady, but she says, now I need one. And I didn't know what that meant. And I called her right back and I said, hey, Kathy, how can I help you? I said, you know, and how did you find me? Because that's one of my first questions. I want to know how people are locating me. I leave brochures. I'm on Nextdoor app. I'm you know, on Facebook all the time. I'm leaving business card places. I'm leaving samples. Where did you find me? And she says, well, I went to avon.com. And I went, oh, okay. And I said, there weren't any reps in Mooresville. She goes, oh yeah, there were 37 of them in Mooresville. And she said, I kept scrolling. She said, my husband was sitting beside me. And she says, and then I scrolled and she said, and I saw your picture. And she says, I turned my phone around to my husband and she said, you see her? She's my Avon rep. This is going to be the one. And I said, really? That's like the goofiest pitch ever that's on my e-store site. Really? And I said, I need to do more like that. I just need to not care. And she said, I knew from your picture that you were going to be exactly what your picture showed. You were going to be welcoming. You were going to be happy. And you know, I get so tired of seeing the ones like this. You're trying to look so professional. I got news for you. People do professional all day long. It's not the first time I've heard this, but she said, and I know that if I want to deal with you directly, I'm going to have to drive to get my stuff. She says, and I want you to know I will. I will. And she says, I think this is going to be a fabulous friendship. I loved that she already identified this as a friendship, that she already identified this as something more than just me making money off of her. And I had everything she wanted, luckily. I mean, of course, what is it going to be? Skin So Soft, Bug Guard. I had it all. She wanted some moisture therapy lip balm. I had it, right? So she didn't have to wait. And I met her and she grabbed me and she hugged me. She goes, oh, I'm a hugger. And I said, that must have been what my picture said too, because I'm a hugger too. I love to hug. It's my favorite thing. And you think things like that don't make a difference. Paying attention to your e-store site, talking about what you love, but letting your picture show what you love. And the same thing goes for Facebook and social media. This is, don't you love this? I'm not picking on anybody, and I don't know if anybody that's on here is doing this, so I'm not looking. So I need you to understand that. So get your tail off your shoulders right now. And if you're doing this, just correct it. That's all I'm going to say. That's who I am. And if you end up leaving, I get it. It's all right. So, oh man, who wants to come in there? Somebody else want to come in late? Probably one of my team members. Oh my goodness. So this is what I see. Live streams. This is what I see. I love the fact that so many people are doing it, but this is what they do. So here is the campaign, 15 book that's coming out. So it's like this. Hi, everybody. This is the 15 book. Avon. If you look at this page, you'll notice we have Magic's Hint. Yeah. I believe you should buy from me because I'm trying to make money. I think you should buy from me because I need to pay my electric bill and I'm now going to make you responsible for it. That's technically what you're saying. Instead of doing something like, let me tell you about this product here. Let me bring it up close. Have y'all seen this product here? Have you ever had back pain that you just thought you was never going to sleep again? I had Lee rub some of this on my back the other night, and I want you to know, I slept all night long like a baby. Y'all need this. It don't smell bad. It's amazing. And if your husband's feeling that way, your grandma feeling that way, or your kid who just played softball feeling that way, this is what you need.
Good
There's
stuff.
such a difference. There is such a difference in what you promote. People, stop slapping your digital brochure. Put it on there, but quit just slapping it on there and thinking that's going to do the work.
Well, here's my question. Why would they trust you if all you're doing is just slapping a product at them? You told them nothing about it. So why would they trust
Absolutely.
you?
That's exactly right. Why would they trust you? Why are you different than anybody else out there who's talking about the skincare? Let's be honest. What makes this different than me going on telling you about Icy Hot? Let's talk about it. Let's get real. I'm going to tell you right now that if I said this, I'm not making anything from Icy Hot, but I guarantee you if I get on there and tell everybody what this product is doing for me, I guarantee you people are going to have questions. People are going to be looking for it at Walmart. People are going to want it because, man, I don't know. Maybe I didn't use it right because Molly said it worked for her. Maybe, maybe I should. It's not the product they're trusting. It's you. You're the one that they're trusting. They're trusting what you have to say about the product. People often say to me, there's so many products in Avon that I don't see you talk about. I know, Molly, I see some people and they talk about every product that's out there. I said, my approach is different. If I don't know it's great, I'm not talking about it. If it's not worth talking about, and by the way, yes, we do have products that are not worth talking about. Okay. In my opinion, you can't have 6,000 products and not have something that just ain't that great. Okay. That's how it is. They don't care what you think isn't great. What they want to know is what works for you. They want to know when you talk about those lines in your face, when you're talking about something that you're like, can you believe that I'm 60 years old? And every line that I have is smooth. It may not be gone, but my skincare, people say, you're 60, Molly. I didn't see you for 60. I didn't see me for 60 either, but here I am. But because I've been an Avon user for 25, 30 years, I believe that's what happens. You break down that age gap with your skin when you're consistent, right? What do they want to know? Buying the product isn't going to do it for you. Using the product daily is what's going to do it for you. What are you telling them? People are hurting for money right now. Let's talk about that. It's a hard time. Our economy, whew, it's hard out there. It is. Andrew, I know.
I saw it in my last event. The previous year, I sold out Skin So Soft and Bug Guard. This year there was sticker shock. I didn't sell as much. Even though people wanted it, all the vendors noticed you weren't spending. The only vendor who did well was the $5 jewelry person.
Paparazzi, baby.
Yep.
Paparazzi. It's true. It's true. It is a hard, and it's like Andrew said, look, Andrew is an event person. So Andrew has always known what works at his events. And he said, boy, this has been different. I have to rethink this, Molly. I have to think, what am I going to do differently? What is it that they want? But it's where Andrew's growth has come. I'm going to take you back to a time when Andrew would have said, this isn't working. I'm not doing this event anymore. It's not working. I just don't think this is going to work because people aren't looking. No. This time it was, what I'm doing at this point is not working. I need to regroup and see exactly what it is they're looking for. There is a major difference. This is no different than Amy. I told you when she said, the events I used to do after the pandemic and all, people didn't come back, Molly. They didn't come back, and even so I don't have a place to do it. I have to rethink how I'm doing things. And Amy could have said, this is the mindset of most people. This isn't working, so it must not be meant for me. Must not be my game. Nope, it's not it. But my team, little by little, they may not have started that way. And I like to believe a lot of people in Onward, no matter what, also said, this isn't working, but wait a minute. There has to be a way around it, through it, over it, under it. How can I shift the atmosphere? How can I make this work for me? And Amy's had to do something completely different from what she was doing. Janae has now become and I wish she was on here, but she's not on here, but sometimes she has to work late. Janae is huge with doing bundles. Never seen anybody work the magic that she works with, taking things that are on sale in the catalog or taking bundles and putting bundles together. And if you've seen it on the other YouTubes, if you've watched them, that she'll take so much together and say, okay, I'm going to sell this bundle for $20. And what she'll do is she'll do it around Mother's Day. She does it around Easter. She does it around graduation. She does it around Father's Day. She does all these things. And then what happens, or teachers before the school year is out. And then what happens is all the people are like, oh my gosh, yeah, can I have 5 of those? Can I have 10 of those? How about 5? She works the audience that she already has. So my question to you is, what does your audience look like? Are
Hey,
you
Mo.
building it?
Hey, Mo.
Then that's what I do too.
Who said that?
Amy.
Amy, there you are. Amy, I can't keep up with all the faces. You see how the
I
faces?
know,
Amy, I
you've
can't
got
keep
too
up with
many.
them. Yeah, Amy,
But
tell us a
yeah,
little bit about it.
since, when pandemic shut me down on my big shows, that's kind of what I've geared to. And I work gift sets. I stock up on Hobby Lobby when they put their nice fancy boxes really, really cheap. I try to get as cheap as possible, but sometimes you can't wait for them to go down that cheap because then they're not there. I used to focus on just a holiday box, but then I decided I'm spending too much money on the box. But they want it ready to go, grab and go. I'll post them on my VIP page all the time. Hey, I need a gift. What do you got? I was like, well, what do you want? Body, skincare, makeup, or fragrance? And a price, and then I have it ready to go. And all through the year, I'll buy bundle deals, break them up. Sometimes, get the wild deals, break those up into 2 different gift sets and, make your money or more.
That's fabulous. That's fabulous. Now, does anybody have any questions about that? What she's talking about, that what she does? Go ahead, unmute. You can do it. You're allowed. No, gosh, all these people and nobody has any questions. What is this?
Hi,
Newbie?
I'm
Hey,
Suzanne.
Sue.
Hi. I do something similar to what she does. The only thing is that I call them mystery baskets. I don't know
Okay.
they don't know what's inside the basket, but I do tell them that it's worth a certain amount. And they fly like there's no tomorrow. So that's what's been good for me. Doing the same thing, buying the bundles, separating them, putting them in a mystery basket, and then give it to, they usually buy for their friends and stuff. So that's really been helping me a lot.
Okay. Now, Sue, when you're talking about buying the bundles, let me ask you, are you talking about, okay, let me do this nicely. Are you talking about buying the cheaper bundles and the what's new? Or what,
No, I'm
are you
talking
talking
about
about
buying
are you talking about the wow deals? What are we talking
the
about?
wow deals, the
Wow
$100
deals.
mystery box. And
Got
it's a
you.
mystery for me too.
I love that. That's awesome. Even for you. I love that. Oh, wow. Let's open it together. I don't know what it is. How exciting.
Mhm.
I love that. I love that. And what I love about this is, look, Amy's talking about what she's done. I know Andrew has done many things with mystery too. Now, this is what I like. I'm seeing people shake their heads. Sue started talking about what she's doing, and suddenly I'm like, see, this isn't old news, guys. See, you're not alone in what you're thinking or what you can do, but each person is individually taking something that's working for them. Let's do this. How about this? Who has something that right now in the heat of summer, where you're at right now, we're in the middle of 14, and there's something that you're doing out there that's working. We've heard about Sue Ellen talked about her events. And look, some of you that are on here, I know some of you have been in Avon longer than me. Okay. So some of you have got such customer bases that, let me be clear, sometimes some of the stuff that people are talking about, it's not needed. They have such a customer base that their customers are just there. They got 300-400 customers because they've been working those customers for years or more, and those people stay with them. But what I'm talking about now is people who are still trying to acquire a good customer base. What are you doing that is driving in more customers to your business? Who wants to share?
I will.
Okay, go ahead.
Johnny and I love to go fishing, and we have our own pond on our property. And we will always take our bug guard with us. And I will always take a picture with the bug guard sitting on the table in front of us with our fishing post towards the pond. And then I'll say, guess what we're doing? You don't even have to mention anything about that product. It's sitting there, and I will always get comments. There she is with her bug guard. And I'm like, yes, I always had that bug guard. And I'll do reels like that.
And if you're not following Tammy, she's another one that a lot of times I don't say anything on her post, but I'm always giving her a like, because what I love is she is the master of taking her life and weaving her Avon business into her life. And if you want to be successful, quit being so secretive about your life and what you do out there, and show people how you do weave the products into your day. The sunscreen, think about it. Being out there all day long, have you slapped, I'm out there on the lawnmower, and the first thing I'm grabbing is, the 50 to put it on in the butt. So, I mean, taking a picture of, Lee, we got to do this. You're going to have to do a blind guy. We're going to take a picture of the lawnmower. Maybe me sitting on it. Maybe not, but maybe. doing this and this is what Tammy is talking about. She's doing life, man, but she's sharing her Avon, her business. And what happens is they're very interested in what she's doing and where she's at, but she just slips that Avon thing in there like, oh yeah, they're the bug guard just sitting there. How amazing is that?
Well, we have a
Yeah.
homestead with chickens and the garden and with them,
Love
with
her
the
chickens.
dog and
Love
with
her
the pond.
chickens.
So, well, yeah, we
Yes.
have one named after you.
I love it. Jan Heaton, what do you got to say, my friend?
I have a question and I just know, can you hear me?
I can hear you, baby.
Okay. And I noticed another person just asked too, what do you decide to put in your bundles? How do you price them accordingly?
Who wants to tackle that?
Suzanne, Amy?
Come on, Miss Suzanne, give us your wisdom, girl.
Okay, well, how I do it is it depends on what price of the mystery bag they want to get, because each mystery bag is a certain price. I don't do it like pick a number and you get you get whatever's in there. No, they tell me, do you want to? I tell them, I ask them, do you want a $25 mystery bag? Do you want a $50? Depending on what they want, I put stuff that is gonna match that amount. It didn't cost me that amount, but in the book, it's gonna be that amount. I'll put a skincare. I'll put those packets of the skin so soft of the bug guard, the packets. Oh my God, that's like
the white.
That flies with me. So I'll open up the packet and I'll put like 5 of them in there.
Okay.
Or 4 of them in there.
Nice.
It depends. I put some lip balms. I still have tons of lip balms. Good Lord, got them for free. Remember, with the.
Oh my goodness, yeah. I think I have 18 boxes of them.
So you're giving, Suzanne, you're giving items that they can currently replenish?
Correct.
Okay. And you make it where it's profitable for you from the standpoint you're buying wholesale, selling retail.
Correct.
Thank you,
That
dear.
was a really good question, Jan. Thanks for asking.
Thank you.
that.
Well, I
That's
had
really
noticed
good.
another lady asking, so I thought I'll
Well,
take my
somebody else
hand
got to
down.
keep up with the chat. I'm one person. I can't do this. This is unreal.
Oh, honey, you let me go here and it'll be 1 for 1, whether
Oh
you
my
talk more
goodness.
or I do, but I'm being polite tonight, so I'll mute
Okay.
myself.
I got you. Hey, Mr. Jason, let's let you go, and then we're going to go to Andrew. Jason, what you got for me?
All right, I got a little tip that I've been using to get all my customers. I go to the post office on Saturday. Can you hear me?
I got you. Yes.
Yeah, I go to the post office on Saturday after they close. All I do is leave the book and I just put my number, nothing else on it, and leave them in there. And they end up staying till Monday, or usually people get them. And I've had like probably 20 some customers call just from doing that. They're like, I found your book. And I'm like, oh, well, one of my customers probably left it there.
Post office is my favorite. And did you notice what Jason just did?
If you leave
You
them on
noticed
Saturday,
that he did a Molly move there. He did not take personal responsibility. He said, oh my goodness, my customer must have left it there. Daggone it, they must have been done. See, you don't take personal responsibility when you do that. You let them find you. He is slick. I love him. Oh my gosh. And look at 25 people just simply leaving a book there. People say leaving books don't look, you're going to hear a lot of people, a lot of leaders tell you that leaving brochures places because you're not there to immediately follow up, that doesn't work. This is what I'm going to tell you. Malarkey. That's what I'm going to tell you. I'm 20 years in this business. I'm not going to tell you every customer I've ever gotten is from leaving a brochure. But when I had 2 jobs full time and 2 kids I was raising and life was hard and I was trying to build an Avon business, what that man right there is doing, taking every strategy he can to leave anywhere he can, and doesn't care if somebody says, oh, why did you do this? I don't, he just didn't even take it personal. He's like, dude, look, everybody buy Avon from me. I know who's they're probably done with the book. What are they going to say? When you are broke enough, you will do whatever it takes to make sure you get the job done. And anybody who's worked with me personally, You know, Jason, I commend you. That's fabulous, fabulous. Andrew, what do you got for me?
1 second here. I was multitasking. Okay. Sorry, I'm a little distracted now because I was trying to pull up a file that I'm going to put in the group later. It's an oldie but a goodie. 70 ways to get customers and recruits. So I'm going to we haven't seen that in a while, so I'm going to put that back in the group because it's always, it may be slightly dated, but for the most part, it's not. But what I was going to talk about, how being agile and nimble, being able to change is important because all my events are different. And like I said, what sold at this event last year was different than what sold at the event this year. Like my mystery grab bags do very well at Halloween. It's the only thing that sells at my event in Halloween. And it's because the bags I choose from the dollar store, they're buying because of the bags. But when comments I get the following year is how thrilled they are with the products that they got in their grab bag the following year. So they wouldn't buy it normally because, but when they had the excitement from the bag, they're surprised by our products once they actually do try them. The other event I just finished this year used to do well with grab bags too. The last 2 years they haven't, so I've really cut back on the grab bags for that event. But and what I normally have sold at those, like last year, I sold out the Bug Guard, I sold out the Skin So Soft. This year I didn't. But what did sell was fragrances. Fragrances normally is a moderate sell for me. This year I sold quite a bit of fragrance, including some baskets I made from the fragrances. And what I do with just FYI, what I do with the fragrance baskets is different what I do with mystery grab bags. That's a long whole other discussion. So if you want to ask me about that one later, I'll get into that. But being able to change and adapt to what's working and not just keep doing the same thing is important. And that's why I've been using the Square point of sale app because it's free. Just to put your inventory in there, even if you're running out cash sales on it, I can see my numbers and what is selling and what is not selling. And what's not selling goes in the mystery grab bags to get rid of it if no one's buying it. And then also the mystery grab bags are going to be items I pick up from when we had like the go forth sale. Anytime anyone has those deep clearance prices, that's good for the mystery grab bags because you're still giving them the value, but you can afford to give a better price. But be careful not to go overboard with inventory. I've learned this firsthand.
Yeah, I agree.
Don't get those bundles from the What's News. If you already have products, take advantage of the free stuff. Like if you're putting your order in today, submit that code for the live. But
the Beach 100, yep.
Make sure you don't have too much too, because if you have too much, you're going to do fewer events, and that's my issue. Is I'm not doing enough events because I have too much to manage. So I'm really trying to focus on the core items, so that way I can do more events and get out there. And really, what's more important is getting more books out and getting more contacts, and trying to establish that relationship, because if I never hear from them again, they're not going to be a customer. I need that relationship to continue, because I'm going to make more money off of getting new customers than I will off a one-time sale at an event.
Perfect. Love it. Thank you, Andrew. Miss Marge, what you got for me? Unmute, babe.
The main thing that I've learned over the years is being consistent with dropping books. Wherever I go, I have 2 days a week, Wednesdays and Thursdays every other week, because I was doing it day in and day out, and it was killing me. It was just absolutely killing me.
Right.
But I drop them consistently every week. And then every 2 weeks, every campaign. But also I've noticed that my sales have picked up with ordering. I order the first day the campaign opens. And if I get a large amount at the end of the campaign, then I'll order again. If not, I just put it to the next campaign. But I've been pulling $800 to $1,000 a campaign.
I love it. I love it.
But it's got to be
I am filming you talking, so I'm filming you talking because you're amazing. Okay, so I'm filming you. Just telling you.
It's just, you have to be consistent. And then don't always add on. Don't just do, I drop 120 books, but then I'll rearrange. If these people aren't ordering for, 3 or 4 campaigns, then I stop. And they have my information. So if they want to book 2 campaigns from now, I'll go back to dropping a book. But
Love it.
I'll always keep going.
Always keep going. Love it. Thank you for that. Miss Lori, what you got? Unmute.
Be there. Andrew and Marge kind of covered what I was gonna say, but one of the things found, I've been leaving books at my chiropractor's office, and I've
Okay.
gotten 3 new customers, and I've been going there for years and years. So the staff all there really, they know me real well. The poor girl at the desk, she's actually been holding orders and delivering them, giving them to the other customers when they come in, because they haven't showed up when they were supposed to.
Oh, wow.
And now my new customers from the chiropractor's office, now that they have my contact info, are calling me to say, hey, Lori, I was at the chiropractor's office today. You're out of books. Can you swing by and drop off new ones?
Wow. Now listen to what she's saying. She didn't say she just picked a random business, and that's cool too. We call that Avon Appreciation Day and just walk in. She is working this into her everyday life, like Tammy was talking about, all of this stuff. What are you doing in your everyday life? And now Lori is their person.
So when I walk in for an appointment, Jen at the desk says, hey, Lori, good thing you walked in today. Somebody just took your last book. Do you have books in the car?
I love it.
And life happens, you go there and another patient is supposed to meet me and they don't show up. And I think that's weird.
Yeah.
So Jen's like, oh, no worries. Just leave leave the customer's order here. Is it paid for? Do I have to collect money for you?
Wow. Wow. That is.
You know what?
I put her
And
in.
so it's just kind of snowballed. So just from there, I think in the last 2 months, I've gotten 6 new customers.
That's awesome.
And
That is absolutely
never would have
awesome.
expected my customers to be calling me to say, hey, was just there. You have no books left. So if you get a chance, shoot up there and drop off some more books.
Yep. At doctor's office, dentist office. You don't have a washer and dryer, laundry mats. If you take your kids to the same McDonald's, there's every place that you can find to do this. And I love that Lori is just now, the people are just like, hey, girl, we need you. Hey, you think it can happen? I would love to tell you there's something more amazing about Lori than there is already. But Lori is just somebody who keeps at it and keeps sharing and shares herself and shares what she does. And you think, oh, nobody in that place would want it. You don't know if you're not in there sharing. You don't know.
Yeah.
And it's about building that relationship. I mean, I've been going to this particular chiropractic office since 1985.
Wow.
So I am older than the staff that works there now.
And look at that, but look, they're still buying from you.
Yeah. And so
Love it.
that's what you got to do. You've got to be consistent and not worry about people saying, oh, I don't want to bother with that. So, okay, that's fine by them, but just keep pushing it. Just keep going at it and doing everything. Doing what you do.
That is so encouraging. I love that, Lori. Thank you for sharing that.
Hey, Mo.
Yes.
I think what people forget is that they're trying to hard sell a product really fast instead of just, I wear Versace Dylan Blue. I know I make a lot of
And
Avon
it smells
ladies
so
mad.
good on you, baby. I just need you to know that.
I have never walked around with a bottle of that, but I have sold probably 20 bottles of that because somebody hugs me and then they tell their husband they've got to go have a bottle of this.
Y'all quit hugging my husband. You hear me? You stop it. Just stop that.
What's her name?
My gosh.
I
love that. Versace, Dylan Blue. How about
Molly?
Who's Molly and me?
Oh, Rosie.
Rosie, what's up, Rose?
Well, first of all, You guys are all wonderful. I have to say that. And
Oh.
Molly, you are very dear to my heart, even though we still have never met.
It's
I
coming,
have,
girl. It's
I
coming.
have,
I feel it.
followed, I have followed you since the Formidable Fours.
Yeah, man, that's a long
yeah,
time. You're
yeah,
aging
yeah.
me. You're aging
Well,
me.
I'm aging myself, but you know what? It's, and Molly, you said something a little bit back, which this is my second go around with Avon. When I first sold it was back in the late 80s, early 90s, and then I came back again on 2010. And if you all heard me, I've been in a walker wheelchair. So I've been selling to people since 2010 that I have never met.
Wow.
I have never met them personally. I am just a voice on the phone. But like Molly said, they're not buying product from me. They're expecting me, being the person that they trust, showing them what's going to work for them.
Yes,
And you don't,
ma'am.
and you don't even have to do it in person.
Yeah, yeah. I love that.
And
I love
right.
that.
And because they trust you, referrals come all the time.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
when you're first starting out, one thing to remember, that person that's buying from you, share with them, say, Molly, hi, I know that you've bought from me now a couple times, and I appreciate you helping me build my business. I would like to know, may I ask you, do you have a friend, a coworker, a neighbor, a sister, someone else who could appreciate what you've received from Avon that I can help them with? And then you just shut up. And you
Makes
see
sense.
what they say to you. Or you know what, Molly, have I told you that there's a trip to Cancun and I'm trying to get there? So I'm trying to build my business as quick as I can so that I can go on that trip. Is there anything that you think that you might be able to do to help me? Is there a place where maybe you think I could put my books?
The right questions. The right questions. I love that, Rosie. Yeah, I love
So
that.
then in turn, they feel like they're part of your business.
Oh, they're helping you. Yes, indeed.
Right, correct. And let me tell you,
They're like, get a suntan for me and drink a margarita for me. That's what they saying when you are on the trip. I love it. I love it.
yeah, or they're calling me and they're saying, so how close are we to the
How
trip?
close? And
Okay,
how about that? How close are we? Not
How close are we to the
you.
trip?
How close
Even
are
though,
we?
even though they're not going, they're part of the Avon family.
That's some good stuff right there for sure. Thank you for that, Rosie.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate that.
You're
Sue
welcome.
Ann, come on, girl. Give me what you got.
Okay, so some things I've kind of been jotting down are like what I do is I even go to bus stops. I don't just keep it to local shops, thrift stores, etc. And I actually got this from my upline. I have a label on the front of all my books that have the free to join Avon offer being the first thing that they see in a bright pink sticker. My information is still on the back, but that way the information to become a rep is out there because like you're saying, money's tight for people. Everybody can use some extra money. And so right now I can be honest, I'm not focusing so much on my customers. Now I'm working on building a team that's even bigger than what I've had before.
Yep.
So that's where my efforts are now going in is I'm finding people that are saying, hey, I need more money, or hey, I need to do something more.
Yep.
And that's where I'm putting it.
I love that. I love that. Building a team, it's not easy. It's not easy, but I'm here to tell you it's worth it. But it is residual, and residual means long term. So if you're getting into leadership and you think you're going to make a bunch of money in the beginning, hang that up right now. And if somebody tells you they lying, get away from them people. They lying to you. You say you liar. You sit on a throne of lies. That's what you tell them. It's not. But Sue Ann, that's perfect. I appreciate that. Margie, you had something, girl, and then you put your hand down. You get your tail back in here and you tell me what you wanted to say. Come on.
You are 100% right about
Wrong, Margie. Hold on, Margie. We wanted the other Margie. Hold on.
Oh,
Margie.
okay. Bye.
Y'all confusing me. Now I got 3 and 4 of each of you with the same name. Lord have mercy. Margie McDaniel, you this time, girl.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So yeah, I was well, I was kind of everybody was kind of going about what I was wanting to say. But now I got to jump off Sue Ann because we're like going every direction. Because I just today I was sending out stuff for leads and talking to customers. And has anybody started the conversation with how is your Christmas shopping in July going? That has been a huge
There
thing.
you go. That's a gold nugget, Margie. And you didn't think you had anything to say. That is a gold nugget right there. Everybody should be catching that. Absolutely. People don't want to think about it, but you better start. I mean, think about it. We're Prime, Amazon's Prime days right now, the 11th and the 12th. They're thinking about it. I mean, why aren't we thinking about it? Margie's got a huge point there. We should be thinking about it. Thank you for that, Margie.
Way ahead of you.
That is huge. Susan, how about you, my friend? What do you have for me?
Hi, I just want to say thank you so much for opening this up. I really am so happy to be here.
Susan, let me stop you for a second. You realize that Molly Stonebed, Mama Molly, don't do nothing without consulting her team. So I need you to know that this had to completely be okay.
Oh, good. Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing.
She was the holdout, but I got to tell you, I touched her heart and she said, tell him to come on. Let me come on. So it's all
well,
good.
we
So thank you for
appreciate
being
it.
here.
And I also have a question. When
Please.
you
Don't be
leave
talking
your
about me.
books,
Don't be talking about me. I hear you.
Vanessa, I'm throwing you under the bus, baby. Just
no,
so
you don't
know.
have to, because I watched the YouTube where you asked your team, and I remember you said no.
Exactly.
I remember you.
I don't hold nothing back.
Look.
I remember.
Let me just say first, I give my team a hard time, but this is the truth. This group of men and women, when we go to an Avon event, my team is so unselfish. They step back. They know that people want my time.
Yeah.
And my team steps back and lets other people soak parts of me in and I've never seen anything like it because they know it's going to happen at convention and if we're having events. And that's why when I do something for my team, I got to have it in my room because otherwise I got the whole Avon tribe out there and I don't know how to say no because I love all of you so much. I just don't know how to say no. So my team, they rock at this point. And Miss Inez, I pick on her all the freaking time. I have to tell you, but I don't love anybody more. The only person I pick on more than Miss Inez is Janae. And she finally made it, even though she's late, she finally made it. So the superstar leader, Janae Hensley, finally showed up for the call. So
great. Don't be talking about Janae. I got your back, Janae. I got
Janae,
your back.
Inez got you, but Mama Molly don't.
Thank you,
just so
thank
you
you,
know.
Miss Inez.
Okay.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, I
thought I was loved, but Lord.
Let me tell you,
just
she
had me
knows
under
who
the
has her
button.
back. You all know who has your back. Don't you even start with me. Oh my goodness.
I'm just
Here we go.
playing. I love you. I love
That's
you.
so funny. All right,
I'm sorry
Miss
for
Susan,
joining
I'm
late.
sorry. I interrupted you. You had
No,
a
that's
question. Come on,
okay.
girl.
That is
Come on.
okay. It's about when you leave the books around. And I left a book on a community bulletin board and I did get some orders.
Okay.
However, I'm trying to figure out a nice way to say it. I don't know these people yet.
Right.
So I placed the order and paid for it. And I mean, the order came. I, contacted the people and let them know because they did it by email. And we met up and, I delivered, they paid me. Do you recommend doing that? Or do any of you do that? Or do you get the money up front? I mean, like one of these days, I'm afraid,
Susan, I have my answers, but I want you. Janae has been with me a really long time, and I am gonna and look, I need you all to know here, no matter what you hear, there is no right or wrong answer for this.
All right.
But Janae, why don't you give us your thoughts on this? Because I know you've been with me so long. I already
Yeah.
know what
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I would say that there is absolutely nothing wrong with taking an opportunity to gain a customer. I would just be very careful because scammers
Okay.
also try to send us emails and they all look very similar. Usually look for typos, look for if it's a big order
Okay.
and they have to send you a money order or a cashier's check, do
All
not
right.
accept it. Refer them directly to
Okay.
your website every time because if they need it that badly, they can order directly and have it
They
shipped to
can
wherever
order.
they need to be.
Okay.
But no, I don't think that you're doing anything necessarily wrong. I mean, any opportunity to gain a customer, it's just we have to be very because it's our business and scammers are out there and they don't only just send emails, they will call you, they will text you, like they're smart.
And
so we have to
Janae,
go
let's
step
think
ahead.
about something else too, because now understand Janae's been with me a really long time. So what Janae still has is what we call Avon credit. Okay. So what that means is when our company first started, so if you hit the goals, we're not even going to get into it all. But in the story is if you had a certain criteria, you got a line of credit with Avon, which meant it had to be paid before you place your next order. But now in the Avon world for the last 4 or 5 years, there's no credit like that anymore. Now those who still had it were grandfathered in. They didn't take it away. Okay. So a lot of us do.
And to answer that part of the question too, I would recommend, because I know there's a lot of veteran reps that are probably on the call too that don't take money up front. Just use it at your discretion. But if anybody ever complains or says to you, well, my Avon rep didn't used to make me pay up front. This is my business. This is how I run my business. If you want to go to a different rep, please feel free. But I just don't want to risk you not getting your orders on time. And then even if you need to change how you say it and just tell them, I don't want you to risk not getting your order on time because we do have some shortages on this item because it is a really high selling item. I would rather you go ahead and be able to get it ahead of time. So if you can pay at least a deposit down on it, I would greatly appreciate that. But you change how you say it, your customers more than likely will understand it based off of how you build that relationship with them.
I just wanted to ask because I do like personal service, you know, and meeting people. So
I
just thought
a lot of this I think has to do with too. You got somebody who's placing a $200 order with you. I mean, in all honesty, in the Avon world, I'm not saying that doesn't happen. It happens with me, but it doesn't happen all the time. I think that when we're talking to people, and I'm talking about personal, I'm talking hand-to-hand combat. We're going to meet people. They're coming. We're going to meet them somewhere. You're kind of getting to know that person on the phone. Matter of fact, when somebody, a new customer, I want to call them, and I do. When they're going to want personal delivery from me or we're going to meet, I want to call. Don't ever disregard your gut, is what I would tell you. If I could tell every daggone person here, if your gut's telling you, like if somebody says to me, hey, I'm going to place this order and here we go. It's like a $70 order. And she goes, now I need you to know, I don't get paid until the third Wednesday in 19. You know what I'm saying? You want to say, well, you know what? I don't hold orders for that long. And at that point, you're saying I'm going to need you. When you're ready, why don't you call me? When you're ready, you're closer to when you have your money. Never be embarrassed or never feel like how you choose to run your business is the wrong way. If you choose to always get all your money up front, that is absolutely how you can run your business. The problem, not the problem, but our scenario here is we have, close to, 50, 60, 70 representatives here. But what happens is we all come from different places and different eras in Avon, so we can run our businesses different ways. But never shy from, I know you say you're putting books out and you don't know these people. I need you to rethink how you're thinking that. You're putting books out so that you can get to know people. You're putting books out so you can build a relationship. You're putting books out so that people choose you whenever they think about Avon. And when you let go of that fear per se and say, you know what? How in the world? It's like somebody, I'm putting signs on my car. I don't want everybody to have my number. Girl, Google, they can find your number. Okay. If they want it. stop
a couple
being
tips.
so
10 years ago, the phone book.
scared
Yes.
of everything that's going on, and go into it with that open heart attitude of saying,
Okay.
the way for me to establish having 40, 50, 60, 100 customers is
Mhm.
because you took the chance to get to know them. And I'm never going to tell you you're not going to find a bad egg in there. We've all had bad
Right.
eggs, okay? But
Yep.
you just follow your gut. And I think that
Thank
you would
you.
be fine with that if you do that, okay?
Thank you so
All right, you
much.
are welcome. Miss Jessica, you are next. Come on, girl, bring it.
All right. I have a couple of things. I'm going to try to keep it like super streamlined and fast. We all binge watch shows, and I guess I've been on Two Broke Girls lately. So I don't know if anybody else
Yeah,
watches
good
Two
show.
Broke Girls.
Good show.
But how I feel like, because and this is the second part of this conversation, I just came back to Avon. I have been a rep in the past since 1996. And I did leave. I was one of the ones that went to the body shop at home, and we closed, and it's just been a long journey, you know? So I am back, and I'm excited, and really, I'm ready to just reinvest into the house that built me, you know? But I think you really need to treat it like Two Broke Girls, the episode where they took their cupcake and put it in a little purse, and they stalked Martha Stewart. Like that's that moment. You gotta just go for it, whatever it is. Like
I
you can't
agree.
be worried about how you're gonna look or how you're gonna come off. Just you gotta go for it. And if
I
the answer
agree.
is no, then you know
I
what?
love that.
Who
And
cares,
Jessica is
Martha?
back in
I'm on
business,
next.
everybody. Jessica is
Yeah.
back in business, and she's ready to go.
Right.
I love it. I
And
love it.
I really want to say a big thank you, not only for being here, letting us in tonight. I've really been doing some soul searching in the last, like, how many months since they closed, and just really trying to figure it out. There was one point where it's like, I'm going to go back to Avon. And then I kind of pulled back again. And the other day, and I have been following your page the whole time. I never left. And I love still watching all the interactions. And Molly, you are one of the ones that over the years, when I first started, I had no upline, zero. I mean, I was assigned an upline who never contacted me once in all the years I was with Avon. I never knew them. I never got an email, a communication, nothing. And when Facebook came around and you started Onward, all you lovely people the Formidable Four mainly, who started their pages and let us in and were inspiring us. Hopefully you didn't lose me there. Anyway, yeah, but very amazing that you guys let us in. It revolutionized my business because I finally felt like I was being heard and had support, even if it was people who didn't benefit from me in any way. But the other day I was watching one of your videos, and you were one of the big reasons.
I'm sorry.
Well, you said, and I'm paraphrasing, but in one of your last videos you did on Onward, you said, we're not always going to be happy with corporate. And that was one of my deciding factors when I had left. Because I was doing two things and splitting my time, and I went to what was more advantageous for me at the time. But the one thing you said, I think of Avon corporate as, the people who supply our e-stores and do this and do that, but they're not Avon. We are.
Yes.
And the second you said that, I went, I don't know, it shook something inside me, and it made me know that it was the right decision to come back. So thank you.
My philosophy will always be this, and as you all know, with me, you're going to get whatever you get here, you're going to get everywhere else. I don't know how to be different. If you look into all of this, everybody knows it was a huge, huge hit for me when we lost Steve Boston, and I'm just not even going to go there. But this is what I need you to know. In 20 years with this company almost, I need you to look around, and this is just a few. I need you to look around at the screen here, and I need you to know that corporate people will always come and go, no matter how much we love them. Sometimes because they want to, sometimes because they get rid of the wrong people. Just my opinion. But the people who are here are here. There is no Avon without us, no matter what anybody says. And I hope that one day whoever is running this company will understand that. But we are the only company out there that I truly believe that it is not just solely about the products, because we got so many products. How do you know what we're carrying these days sometimes? But it's about us and the relationship. So never forget who you are to your customers or your team. That's the truth. So thank you for that, Jessica. I appreciate it, my friend.
No,
Miss Agnes, you had your hand up and you put it down. What'd you have? I see y'all think I don't see stuff. I see it. Thank you. So say something, Miss Agnes. Unmute yourself. Come on, girl. Uh-oh, she hasn't done it yet. Ask to unmute. Come on. Try it again, girl.
Okay.
There
I'm
you go.
into this Zoom business, and I
Come
always
on. Come into the business. Come on.
I found the little hand you put up, and then I lost it. So anyway, the reason I had my hand up was that I was going back to whether you get people to pay up front or not.
Okay.
I usually don't. Only because I'm grandfathered in also. I do have the credit,
Gotcha.
but I give them one chance.
Yeah.
If they don't pay or they screw me up somehow, the next time they'll call up for an order, they have to pay up front.
Oh, Miss Agnes, and never forget the golden rule, y'all. Don't you ever let go of products without payment. Don't ever.
Oh, no,
That's a
no.
golden rule no matter what.
No,
I mean, it's bad enough if they don't come get their order, but don't ever let go of products in this business without payment. And I don't mean them handing you a check that could bounce all the way to the bank. That's not what I'm talking about. Have your payment first. That's what you do. So I absolutely agree with you 100%.
I don't take checks from everybody. It's only
Yeah, but there are some you do. Am I right? As long
Yes.
as you've been in the business, because I still do, because I've got people.
Yes.
I mean, you know, I have to take a check from Lee. He's my husband. You know what I'm saying? I have to do that. That's what happened for sure.
I
All
have a
right.
few people I take checks from.
That's
A
all
lot of
good.
them Venmo, or they just pay by credit card. A lot of them want pay cash, which is fine with me also. And I've
Got
never
it.
been burned, but that
There,
was
hey,
my rule.
I love that. I bet your gut tells you exactly about people too. You've been in this business
Right.
long enough, you know, for
Oh,
sure.
yeah,
Thank you
definitely.
for sharing that. Miss Joy Fuller, what do you have to share, my friend?
Am I on?
You're on.
Okay, well, I kind of on the same line there, but I just wanted to say that in my 16 years of being with Avon, I have only been stung once. I've never taken money ahead of time, unless I've had an uneasy feeling about somebody, but I got stung once. And the only reason that she got me is because it was at a tragedy in our life and she took advantage. Needless to say, she never got another Avon order from me.
There you go, girl. That's right.
Yeah.
And then if you come in Onward, you warn everybody about them. That's what happens. Don't buy from this person.
Like the
Don't skip
scammers,
you.
right? The emails and the text messages, and yes.
I
And
hear you.
As far as leaving books around, I do that every
Look,
2
way
weeks
too early, but
or
I-
every week. I do that every week or every 2 weeks when I'm delivering Avon, and I take them every place. But let me tell you, the best place that I have found, at least through the spring and summer, is an ice cream store. And I leave a ton of books there, and they all go. They don't sit there like the restaurants and the beauty shops. They go for whatever
You know what?
reason.
Now that I think about it, everybody who stops to get ice cream is so happy.
Yes.
They so happy because they going to get ice cream. If they're off their diet, they going to get ice cream. That is such a fabulous. Lee, we going to the ice cream parlor, so you know. He's all like, "Yes, we going." That is.
I really pile them up. I pile them up there, and within 2 days they're gone, which is it just
Holy
amazes me.
moly.
So sometimes I make a special
Yeah.
trip just to leave them there, and
Okay,
I've gotten a few new customers that way.
This brings me to something else. Thank you for bringing that up, Joy, because this is, if you're newer and you're on here, and look, I don't know, some of you been in forever, some of you been in longer than me, some of you been in shorter time. I need you to understand something. When you hear us all talk about brochures and leaving brochures and taking brochures and all of that, There are different scenarios to that, and there are different phases in business. So hear me clearly. I bet I have to say this at least once every other time with my team because there's new people. You have to decide according to your budget, what you set up for yourself budget-wise for business tools.
Right.
What I'm saying is you got, it's this much for a set of 10. And then if you get, we know it's cheaper if you get 20 and if you get 30. So listen to me. Let's say you make the commitment. For me, when I first started business, I made a commitment that I was getting 100 brochures every campaign. Now back then, 100 brochures was $19. That was 20 years ago. Okay. So that was my first $20 I invested back into my business. But I did not always get to hand out all 100 of those brochures, right? So when you all are going back and you're watching my YouTube videos and you're hearing about embossing brochures and taking a bunch of brochures out and this and that, I need you to understand something. I am the master and the queen of the major use of an old brochure, because to me, a brochure is never old. To me, a brochure always has the opportunity to be slipped into somebody's hand. And if they can't find the clothes, who cares? And if they can't get the wow deal, who cares? But what they have found is a representative who cares enough to make sure that brochures get out there. I know we cannot back order any longer. We used to be able to back order too. Okay, so what? That's gone. When you have extra brochures, and even now, look, I got a pile of them here. I have extra brochures, and what happens is when I'm going into my pizza places, and now my ice cream parlors, thank you very much, Joy, that's where I'm going. When I go to there, when I go to my laundry mats, when I go to these places, I need you to know something. I'm not taking my newest brochures. I commit to a certain amount. And now because I use Campaign Mailer, I don't get 100 brochures every campaign. But what I do get every campaign is 40, because the rest are done with Campaign Mailer going to my established customers, right? Sometimes I don't get those out every campaign, but they will get out. Do you know that I'm still giving out the smaller size brochures? Do you know that I got 2 customers from the laundromat last week where I left the samples of the laundry detergent sheets and the brochures, the older ones that had, I think, the Isnt Platinum or something on it. I don't even know. They didn't care. They ordered because I put on, this is an older brochure sometimes when I have the labels made. I put my information on there and say, I want to be your representative. It's clear. I want to be your person. I'm not telling you, if you're newer, to piss your husband, your spouse, whoever off and go out there and buy 100 brochures every campaign. And he's looking, and you could wallpaper your walls with all these brochures. Number one, you got a problem if you're doing that. Get out there and do your job. But above and calling that, we take our older brochures, y'all, and we use these. Stop stressing about, but the well deal's not available anymore. We don't have that cute shirt and shoes. Who cares? Because they're going to see the one in the new brochure, you're going to take them, and they're going to forget about the old ones because they're going to want the new wow deal. You need to think forward instead of thinking backwards. So I want to, don't be saying, that Zoom, some call them Miley's, and everybody said they just put brochures. Honey, I'm getting 180 brochures, and we just going to take them everywhere. And then he says, how many customers you get? And you go, 0. No. Brochures is a consistency thing. You keep taking what you have and you keep putting it out. Places that work, you take them back. If it doesn't work after.
Looks like we lost Molly. I'm sure she'll be back. Lee, are you still here?
Daddy Lee should still be here.
Yeah, look at Monica. The system made you the host. Lee's still on, but he's muted. Lee, can you hear us? Lee, you're muted.
I got you, bud.
Okay, we lost Molly for a moment.
I know. I'm trying to get her back.
Okay.
We lost you, babe. I'm sorry. I was over here eating cake, enjoying myself.
Well, while we're waiting,
wait a minute, Lee. Did you have ice cream with that cake?
No, I was just having some cake. Say
Michelle,
what?
were you about to say?
I just wondered if anybody else is trying reels. I'm trying
Hold
to
on.
get better at
I'm
reels.
kind of.
So I've tried reels to do.
You want my computer? You want my
There's
computer?
sample packs that I do, and usually whenever I do those, I can share one in the Onward group if you're
I'll
in
bring you
there.
my computer.
To give an
I'm just throwing
idea,
my
but
headphones
I
in.
will put clips of like each
You want mine?
thing that goes in the bundle, and then showing me putting it in there with a smile on my face, and then just sharing like something personal. Like, I look forward to doing this because my customers, reached out to me and they wanted like an affordable pampering set or something like that. But it tells a story. No worries, Daddy Ring.
That's kind of what I've been trying
because
to.
we're recording, we'll just keep going until she's able to come back on. But basically, like, I like doing that. I feel like telling a story while doing the reels versus like, hey, here's the thing, Avon has it,
Somebody's
you should
talking.
buy
I
it.
disconnected
It
my
doesn't
headphones,
sound
but you may have
it
to
doesn't
like
sound-
look at something and.
Yeah, I've been
Can't get to
trying
this
to do that
computer
too.
or whatever.
I've been learning to do them, and I think it does help a little bit.
Yeah.
The other thing I
Yeah.
wanted
And
to
then
say-
this happened. Oh my goodness.
No worries.
I
But
can't
yeah,
hear him. Hold
doing
on.
the
Where's
reels,
everybody?
doing the
Mute.
reels more than anything is what will
She's
help
back.
you just get a little bit more reach. Don't
Right.
be afraid to be unique with how you do it. I mean, it could be something as simple as you're
about to
trying
get my
on a new
headphones and
fragrance,
see
or
if
you're
that
trying a new skincare product and you just want to see how
Great.
it went, and you're doing a raw review of it. That's your actual real reaction to it, and people will feed off of your real reaction versus you showing a picture or showing an actual product and saying, here's the thing Avon has, you should try this.
Yep.
No
Short
one
and
wants to be
sweet.
sold.
Short and
Exactly.
sweet.
Like, no one wants to be sold. And so with the reels, you got to think about the attention span. So what's going to grab your attention within the first 3 seconds of watching that video?
Yeah.
So put yourself in that perspective. It'll make it a lot easier to just do it. If you think of ideas, post them in your draft or just record quick videos of stuff. Like, sometimes I'll just record stuff just to record it and then post it later. And sometimes it does really well and other times it doesn't, but at least you tried. So it's like just trying to get ideas on, what works. You could focus on one type of thing one day and do a different thing another. And you can kind of schedule out what you want to focus on that day. So it could be like a fun fact about a specific ingredient in one of our skincare products, and then doing the research on the actual benefits of that ingredient and how it benefits our skin, or like our Retune, any of those supplements, or the plant-based protein. You could share like a good recipe. Like, if you love cooking or love making no-bake recipes, I like making protein balls. So you could actually do like a quick reel of a recipe for that and then post it. So there's like different things that you can use because we have so many different options. But don't forget to use your stories too. Your stories are also good. There's a lot of visibility you can get into stories, and it's very indirect. But with reels, I would say try to stick to like a short window, or do something that grabs attention, but it's still personable.
Yeah, she's talking. I just muted.
One thing that I do too, when I make reels or any pictures, I will lightly tag my Avon store on all of that.
Yes.
Me too.
Even though if I'm doing something from my
muted it.
homestead, if I'm showing my
I
chickens,
believe.
if I'm showing us fishing, you will see where it says my rep store on there, tagged lightly, but where you can see it, but it's not blasted right in their face.
Yep.
I would say too, Tammy, make sure you space down more, because if it's like in the first part of your caption, they'll take your views down because the algorithm likes to play with it. But if you like kind of subtly add it, like I like to add mine in the comment section after I post it, because then it's like conversation. So that way the algorithm isn't like so like gung-ho about trying to take away the views. But I love just doing the random clips. I'll record stuff on my phone. Like if I'm trying on a new lip color or something, I'll do that. But definitely have fun with it and try out different ideas. And don't think you have to do it like everybody else. Do what works for you. Mama Molly, are you back yet? Or are you still?
I'm here.
Okay. We just kept going because it was recording.
No. It's good. It's good. I was listening to you. I was letting you all finish. That's a good thing. I don't know what happened. I think it's overload from all the representatives. God knows, who knows what it is, but it is what it is. Okay. And look, this is, I don't have the ability now, guys, to call and unmute, but what I'm going to do is do this. Kim, unmute yourself because I can see your hand raised until this gets done and comes up on my end. Good night, Sue. I know some of you got to leave. I know this is a little bit long, but this is how it's going to be when you have this many people. Molly Stone Bibb is the host now. Well, God bless. Yes, I am the host. What is it? I mean, oh, it's being joined with the computer. Okay, Molly, I will join. This is like
Recording in progress.
okay. Here we go. All right. I'm back, guys. Kim!
Okay.
Talk to us.
I love your.
How you doing?
There you go, baby. Hi, baby. Oh, wow. This is
Hi. Hey,
Kim is
everybody.
on
So
our Kim is on our team, everybody, too. Kim's been with us a long time, been to the conventions, all of that, which is always an amazing time with her because she gets me in trouble, but that's okay. It's all right. So Kim, share your knowledge with us, my friend.
Molly, I have no idea what you're talking about. My lips are
Liar, 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 liar.
So a couple of things. One, I just did something the other day. I can't always afford it, and I love Avon's jewelry and clothing, but I can't always afford every new item that comes out, even with my credit. So what I do is when I'm going out and I intend to try to meet new people is I still wear my older Avon jewelry, my older Avon clothing, and then I kind of find some way to like slip it into the conversation. And the last time I did this was about a week ago, and we went out to breakfast, the fiance and I just happened to be playing with my jewelry, and this was not intentional. It was accidental. I was just, you know how like the closure part sometimes slips down by the main piece of your necklace that's hanging there. And I was just trying to adjust it and put the closure back behind my neck. And the waitress was like, "Oh, what a lovely necklace." And I went, "Oh, thank you. It's Avon." And she's like, "Really? They still have that?" And it's so funny. I crack up every single time I hear that. Yes,
Yeah.
and this is not your grandmama's Avon anymore. And so,
No,
you know,
no.
I left her a cash tip, and I didn't have a brochure on me, but I sure did have one of my business cards on me, and I left that along with a nice cash tip for her on the table. And it was just really, that ended up being a natural conversation segue.
That
Some
is
of the
so
other
cool.
things that I have been doing with my brochures is I'll leave one or two when I go to get gas. I'll put them where they have the flyers for apply for a credit card here. You know, at the gas station, sometimes I'll slip a brochure into the pump I happen to be filling up at. If I go into a store to go buy something and I'm trying on something to wear and they have hooks on the back of the doors, sometimes I will leave a brochure there. Or in the public restroom at a mall, I will leave brochures on the back of the hooks there.
Yeah.
Sometimes I go in specifically for the purpose of just getting rid of excess books. I'm not buying anything. I am simply passing out my books. So I'm just looking for anywhere and everywhere I can possibly leave a book that isn't going to get anybody into trouble, myself included. And I'm not leaving 50 in one spot, you know, it's
No,
one or maybe
no.
two.
Just a couple. That's a great piece of advice right there. Don't go in there.
Yeah.
Don't go leaving 5 or 10 books. Somebody, you know, another representative. Oh, none of us here, of course, but a lot of them will go in there. If they see your books, they'll take them and they'll throw them away. You know, now they're not doing it. They're not leaving their books, but daggone if they want anybody to find your book. So she's right. You know, 1 or 2 is all you need to do. I love that though. And the jewelry thing. Oh yeah. Avon's jewelry never ages. That's for sure. It doesn't. 100%. I love that. I love it. Thank you for that, Kim. Okay. Go ahead. Oh, Leah's not muted. Okay. What we're going to do, look, our team goes to about 8:30. I'm going to answer. See, we've got Janae, Rosie, Sue, and Lauren. Always feel like, as long as we're doing this, when you can come and participate for as long as you can. But don't ever feel like, oh no, I've got to go, or that I'm going to be offended. This is for you all. 100% this is for you all and what you can grab. And hopefully it's going to have recorded right. And you can always go back and pick up the end on the YouTube and everything. I'm hoping this is going to help a lot of people who can't be on these live. But it will be here. So if you got to go, if it's past your bedtime, if you got to go take your multivitamin and all, look, I get it. I'm that person normally too. My team always keep me late, but we're going to figure out, we're going to answer these questions or let them share. And then we're going to say good night. But I hope this has helped a lot of you, if nothing else, just to feel like, man, you're not in this alone, or you feel heard, whatever that may be. That's my reasoning for doing this. So Lori, what do you have for us? I see your hand up. Unmute yourself, Lori.
I did. There you go.
There you go.
Hi, you go. The other day I went out to lunch with some of my other vendor. We call ourselves the vendor chicks. We do a bunch of vendor fairs together with local churches and charities. We went out to lunch. I use my Avon tote bag, the red one that we got a few years ago with the gold heart on it.
Mm-hmm.
And normally I have my Avon hat on. That particular day I didn't, but the waitress wound up seeing my tote bag and she commented on it and said, "Are you from Avon?" And I said, "No, I'm not from Avon, because we do have a town here in Massachusetts named Avon, called Avon." And I said, "I'm an Avon lady." And she said, "Oh my God, Avon is still around?" And I said, "Yes." She goes, "I bet you don't have a book." I said, you sure you want to make that bet?" So before we were done, she had a book, a business card. We had chatted. So always remember to use your Avon logo gear, even if it's something small and you can't put yourself out there.
And if you haven't purchased
sort of
yours yet, you should
boisterously.
be purchasing it now, because the logo gear is out there. Even
Yep.
just a little Skin So Soft bottle, the lipstick that says these little pins, put them on your purse. You don't got to wear them. Put them somewhere where people are going to see them. It's like Lori said, if she doesn't run around with a business card stapled to her head, nobody's going to know what she's doing. You know, she got to let people know what she's doing.
So I mean, even
hopefully this is what you're taking.
my hat here, I have, I think about 8
I see
pins
them,
on
all
here,
your
which are
pins
my
and everything
favorites.
that are on there. I love
And
it.
then the
Yeah.
ones that are doubles and overloads are on one of the lanyards from conferences that I wear when I wear my name on an Avon conference thing at a show.
Love it. Love
So
it.
there you go. Use your logo gear.
So one thing I want to ask real quick, I know quite a few people have had to go, but if you're going to conference, I want to know in the chat, virtual, if you can do the chat, or are you going to be there live? Who am I going to see there in DC? And if you're on here and you're not doing it, come on, guys, you got to get serious about your business. Even the virtual, you should be doing the virtual. Oh, look at it go. Wow, wow, wow. Live, virtual. Okay. Boy, you guys listen. Team, pay attention. They listen to Mama Molly, okay? Unlike Janae, who is my rebel, who just never wants to look at her. Look at the look. See that look? She knows it's a guilty look.
Don't go there.
Yes, I didn't say your name. I know. I didn't
You
say.
didn't
I said
have
Janae.
to. You
I
didn't
know.
have to.
Well, Inez, you are kind of a rebel too. I just need to tell you, you are just a little bit.
You need to
Don't
stop
make
coming
me
for
send it
us.
back to the last YouTube. I will tell on you again. I will tell. My team, they rock. Tracy, come on, girl. I see your hand's been up for 15 minutes. Your patience is amazing, girl. Tell us what you got.
Well, actually just one or two things. One is a question. But in regards to the restaurant, someone had said that they leave their cash tip. What I do when I go out is I leave my tip inside an Avon brochure.
Yes,
So
that is so cool.
When the wait
That is
staff
so
picks
cool.
that
I
up,
love it.
they have,
Oh, that's cute. I like
Isn't
that
that
idea.
great? I love
Yeah.
it. I love it.
Yeah.
That's great.
I've done it
But you know
inside the
what- but you know
samples
what-
too.
That tells me
Yeah.
about Miss Tracy is she don't leave home without an Avon brochure.
That's
See,
right.
that's the
don't.
key.
I
That's the
don't.
key.
I work because I work in an at a school. I'm a teaching assistant, and I also work at the after school program. So
Yep.
most of my customers are my fellow teachers. That's where
Wow,
the
love
my
that.
customers are, you know, and
Love
then
that.
during the, you know, my aftercare, I'll leave a couple of brochures, you know, at the front desk for the aftercare. I'm working the summer. I leave the books there in the summer. You know, my coworkers,
Yeah.
they were like, look at Miss Tracy. She's got her hustle on. She
Yeah,
always gonna have an
I love
Avon.
it. I love it. And this is obviously, look, I'm looking at some top sellers here. Susan Weiss, top seller in Avon. I do that inside the brochure. She's been in this Avon business longer than me. What Miss Tracy's talking about, it works. Now, am I telling you it works every time? Nothing works every time. But if she doesn't do anything, nothing works.
Nothing
Are
works.
you following the
Exactly.
strategy? You do nothing, you get nothing. You do something, there will eventually be a return to what you're doing. And
Exactly.
that's the key here.
Yeah.
That's great, Miss Tracy. I love that. Thank you for sharing that.
I appreciate it.
Love
But I
that.
do have a quick question. It was actually answered in the chat by one person, but I just kind of wanted to get,
that?
since we have a seasoned reps that I have never really been able to get a handle on. I'd like to get helpers. And I'm not quite sure how to go about it and then what to offer it. Now, someone did answer me in the chat and they said it depends. Sometimes they'll ask for samples or maybe a percentage, but I'm still kind of in the weeds. So if anybody's anyone else have ideas about helpers, that would be great.
Let me start with this, and then we're going to let other people come in and give you what they think. There's a lot of things to consider when we talk about helpers. The first thing I'm going to tell you need to consider is what your commission is. We have people here who are contenders. We have people here who are premier, people who are PC and above. Now, I made President's Club in my very first year with Avon, and that's all great and that's fine and dandy. And when I lived in Maryland, I had many helpers. And with my helpers, what I did for them then, so again, I'm 40% and 25%, okay? But what I would tell my one lady, Miss Edith, she had 4 or 5 ladies she collected orders from. I would give her the books for them, and she wanted products. So I rewarded her with Avon dollars, and that actually is in the groups where you can do it. And what would happen is, not including her own order, not including taxes or service charges, if from the 4 ladies she bought me, if she bought me $100 worth of orders, then she got $10, 10% is what she got in Avon dollars. Now, I didn't want to keep track of that, Miss Tracy. My life was way too busy. So what I did is I would give out the Avon dollars, and it would say, like, campaign 14, $10. It would have a place for her name on it. And I would tell her, Miss Edith, you keep track of this, because if you lose this certificate, you're out of luck. I don't keep track of this. So when you pay me for your order, Miss Edith, if you got $10, then what you're going to do is you're going to deduct $10 from the bill that I have just given you for your order. And her order was never included in the amount. It's who she bought to me. Now, that's what I did for my customers. But again, that was based on somebody who wanted products. Now, anybody who just bought me orders, but they weren't really a helper, for them, I would give them, they like just free stuff. They didn't care. They didn't care if it was a deluxe sample kit. But for somebody who wants to be a true, and people are going to talk to you about contracts and everything else. I don't want to get into all that here, guys. You either are going to trust your helpers, the people. I ain't letting Joe Blow come in from down the street and be my helper just because he says he wants to be my helper. I look for my helpers. I recruit my helpers. Oh, Miss Edith, you go to that nursing home to see your mom. Would you take some Avon brochures? If you do, this is what I can do for you. And when she said, oh my goodness, because she loved, so I don't put out there, hey, I'm looking for helpers. And this is just me, one opinion. I knew the people who always had my money for me for their own orders. I knew people who were going places to schools, teachers, people like that who would pass them out so I didn't have to. And I rewarded them according to my commission and what I did. Who else wants to chime in on this?
I agree, Molly.
Oh, sorry.
I don't go outside of my tribe. for sub sellers. I currently have 3 of them. They get a percentage off their order because that's what they all wanted. But again, I offered a few things. I offered so much in cash. And again, it varied also on my sales because like last year I was.
Sue Ann, let me stop you 1 second because I want her to be clear on what you're saying. They had to perform with orders before you did that, not just you're a helper and whether you bring me something or not, you're going to get a percentage off, correct?
Everything is based off of the sales that they bring in, not the amount of work that they put out, because it's the same as us. You know, I can put in 40 hours a week or I could put in 25 hours a week. My pay is based off of what my customers order, not how many hours I work, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
But what I did was I offered cash, I offered product, or I offered a combination of the two. Now, and this is why I say your sales level matters, because I had always hit Premier since coming back to Avon. This was my first year in December where I actually hit President's Club. So I did not increase what I gave my sub-sellers when I went up a level, if that makes any sense. I chose to keep it that way because I want to have that firm foundation in my income before I start sharing.
Yeah.
But I also do not accept checks, because if those checks bounce, that is my bank account that gets dinged.
Yep. I agree. And the only,
I just
look,
wanted to put out there from someone who used to work in banking, you can actually call the financial institution that the check is drawn on and ask them ahead of time if the check will pay. They don't have to ask you for any secure information, but they can let you know if it will pay or not.
Yep.
Before
But
you deposit.
But if you want to take all the humdrum out of it, cut out the middleman, and I agree with what she's saying too. You can, but if you don't have the time for all that, look, I need cash. And Tracy, you know, sometimes you got to know, girl, what it is the person's looking for. I have never, and I think it's great that Sue Ann is, I have never paid people in cash. I have not. But the helpers I'm looking for are people who love the products, because this is, okay, it's a business mindset, but I need you to think about this. I want people who want to grow, help me grow my business. So the things that I come up with, like, well, if you love Avon, I could make you a helper. Do you like to give free products? Because this is how you can do it. Maybe they don't want the whole idea of being a rep and having to place an order and getting my texts or my emails or whatever that look like. But the point is, if I find somebody who I have established a relationship, that I know about their life and I know where they go and I know who they're seeing, and every now and then they come up with this order anyway. So this is for my sister, or this is for this person, or that's for that person, whatever it may be. At that point, I already know what she uses. I'm going after that person who can also help me build a President's Club. Does that make a sense? I don't want to get, I'm horrible. I want to give my money away, I guess. I don't know. But
no, it makes perfect sense, Molly. I mean, 2 of my current sub-sellers actually sold me their business, but they did not want to lose out on a discount product.
Yeah, I get it. So again, you're hearing all these, you're going to hear all these fluctuations of what you can do. First of all, always know what you can do, what you can give somebody, because that could be, maybe it's not going to be 10% for you. Maybe it's 5%. See, for me, I said, well, even if I was making 20 or 25% on the home and the fashion, whatever that looks like for me, 10%, I felt like if they were bringing me $100, $150, $200 worth of orders, well, I'm going to get the President's Club soon if I can find a few of those people. So let's make that happen. How can I make that happen? But if they're getting, oh, I can get more. What happens is Miss Edith, whenever she had lots of, like, I remember one time she held her Avon dollars, because there's no expirations, till she had $50, Miss Tracy, $50. She spent $200 with me because she knew she had $50 off that she had saved, where normally she might spend $70 with me, Miss Tracy. So see what I'm saying? So if I'm doing something to where she's going to buy more product from me herself for whatever it is, I'm always trying to strategize, not just being a good rep, but also being a good business partner, if that makes sense. So you're going to take, like with everything in here, and probably what works for you. There are no wrong or right answers with anything we're going to talk about this summer, but there are going to be a lot of different ways that you can take all of this and suddenly find a way to make a portion of your business, which has felt like it's dying and just escaping your grasp. And you're going to say, hold on, I can try this. And this is going to be the rebirth of my business. And that's what I'm hoping for you all, that little by little, you're going to find these little impacts to your business. I hope that helps. Okay. Miss Rosie, what you got for me? Your hand been up a long time.
Well, first of all, Molly, everything that you just said is so true. I look at it this way, maybe it'll be easier for the new reps. Marketing, brick and mortar. We don't have a brick and mortar, but our book is our brick and our mortar. It is your store. Let it be a current campaign book or an out of date one. It's all marketing. It is the commercial that you see on television because it's in a book. It's that sign, billboard sign on the highway that tells you about, you know, some company, you know, Target or Walmart or whatever. Those are your marketing tools. That is your store. Start from there. If you start there and you build from there, that's how your business is going to build.
Yeah,
you know, I always looked at it like this. If you don't have a solid foundation, you can't build anything, because sooner or later the walls of whatever it is you're trying to build are going to collapse.
Oh yeah.
So make your foundation solid. That's your books. That's your store. And then think about, how do I want to get it out there?
Yeah.
Who do I want to show this to that can benefit from it, and then just grow? And if you all remember back in the day, do you all remember us older women? Fabergé used to have a commercial. If you remember, a long time ago, you saw two people on a screen, and it says, they told two people, and they told two people, and they told, and all of a sudden the screen was filled with hundreds. No, that was Fabergé. I'm pretty sure that was back like in the 70s.
Wrong story. I've been telling people.
But the point of it is that it grows and it grows and it grows. So
it does.
Maybe look at it that way.
Yeah, I love that, Rosie. Thank you for that. 100%. I love it. This is I just noticed something. I don't know how they ended up together on my screen. I don't know if they are on your screen. This is what I like to see. I am looking here at Miss Phyllis Labrandy and Miss Diane Shear, and they are side by side on my screen. And Diane is on Phyllis's team. And what, you know, I talked to Phyllis, actually, we talked to Phyllis, me and Lee, a lot, and I watch them together as a team, how she mentors Diane and Diane gives back to the team, and they power up together with new people who come in. And I believe that seeing them both show up for a call, even though they love me and my honey bun cake, but that's beside the point, that they love me and the honey bun cake, but they are on here together as a team saying, now, what can we do? What can we take from this? All these representatives speaking, and we're going to take this back to the team. For you leaders out there, for you people who are helping your leaders, whatever the nugget is that you took today from this 2-hour set, can't believe it's almost 2 hours. We got to get the heck off of here. What is it that you're going to take back and you're going to share with people that you're like, whoa, I never thought about that. Oh, I thought about the laundromats, but I never thought about the ice cream parlor. Because you want to know what my gold nugget is? I know it sounds crazy. The ice cream parlor. I'm sorry. I was trying to find my solid gold nugget, and it's the ice cream parlor today. I've got to take that, and I've got to use that because people are happy, and she never has a book. Come on.
What was Phyllis's gold nugget?
Oh, that's a question. Phyllis wasn't listening. She just showed up. They are, what is, come on, Phyllis, give me your nugget, girl. Give me your nugget. She's trying to act shy. She's not. She will tell you off in a New York minute because they're from New York. Let's just be that they will tell you off.
It's in my blood. I can't help
It's in your blood. I know it is. I know it is.
And it's funny because Diane's not on my screen. I only see 4 or 5 people across the
It's
screen.
meant to be. See, God knew that you two should have been placed together so I could watch you. That's what it is.
Thanks, Lee.
I love it. I love it. Okay, Sue Ann, we are going to end with you. No other names or hands are up at this point.
Wait, can I say something, Molly, now that I am
I
unmuted?
didn't think you were going to. I was trying to let you off the hook here. Oh, Lord.
No,
Don't
I
let her
actually-
off the hook.
I do want to say thank you to you and Lee and your team for allowing us on, because it's been very helpful. I've been taking notes, and Diane and I have been texting each other. We're going to do a few things that we've mentioned tonight. I like the ice cream place because, you know,
Yeah, I do too.
excuse
I'm
me,
telling you,
for an
it's
ice
my
cream.
nugget. It's my nugget. I love ice cream. I love to give out Avon books. I'm there. I'm there. I love it. Way to go, Joy. I love it. I just look, guys, this is what it's going to be all summer. Look, I'm supposed to technically be going over the what's new. It's just not the most important thing to me. What's most important is what we're doing right here. This is about sharing. This is about getting together. This is about being heard. This is about, we forget about the struggles, because we are the masters of getting through the struggles here. If Avon has not taught me anything, it is how to get through the hard times. It is how to find something that I can come back and share with you to tell you it is worth it. Do not jump ship. And I got to tell you, sometimes it's hard to find that. And then I get on Onward and I start reading. And I said, no, it's not. These people right here, that's the reason that we do what we do. And my team, sharing me in this capacity, they will never know that it is not me who's paying it forward. It is my team who is paying it forward at this moment, because this is the only time they get me to themselves. And we all saw this as a way to give back to Avon Nation and to say, even if I can only do this 100 people at a time, it's more than what some of you are getting. And the AEs can't do it all themselves, like it or not. We ain't got enough of them, so I'm not even going to bring that into it. But what we can do is get together and figure out a way of how we can incorporate all these ideas that work just for you all and for me, because I'm going to the ice cream shop tomorrow. That's what I'm doing. Just saying. I'm just going to tell you right now, Lee, after we get done door dashing, we going to the ice cream parlor. I'm just saying. And I have books in the car already. So it's all good. I wonder if they want some detergent sheets. I got them. They probably had to work. Never mind. So anyway, I was squirreling. I'm sorry. So yeah. So Janae, quit laughing at me. Stop it. Okay. So this is what we're doing. And we're going to continue this every 2 weeks until summer is out. And if you want to come back, I'm going to tell you as the word gets out about this, the only people who get in are the first 100 at this point. So if this has helped you, if you want to keep doing it, and it will be a new link every time. So I'm going to save this link because I'm going to get in first with Molly because I know how to play her. No. I have to do a new link every time to make this fair so that everybody has a chance. If it's important to you, get in. I'm going to have Andrew Andrew, you still on here? There you are. I see you. Andrew, I'm going to have Andrew go into Onward no matter what. And also I think it's in Team Onward already, but Andrew, for some reason, that Avon Dollars flyer is not in Onward no matter what. So if you could take that and put that in Onward no matter what for me, please. Everybody
What I just uploaded, it's not coming up.
But some people had to leave. So I want it to be in the Team Onward.
Oh, in Team Onward, you mean?
Yes, not Team Onward. Onward, no matter what. Team Onward.
He did that.
Oh, he already did in there?
Yeah, you late.
In the
when you were talking about it, I uploaded it.
In the group, not in here. In the group.
Yeah, in Onward.
Okay, see, it takes me a minute, but I was thinking about ice cream. You got to understand. That's what happened.
Yeah,
So, anyways, thank you, Andrew.
I uploaded the Avon dollars file you created,
Okay.
and I also uploaded the 70 ways to get get
Perfect.
new customers.
Perfect. I appreciate that. And y'all go ahead and judge me. But when I come back in 2 weeks and I'm telling you about the 4 new customers that I got at the ice cream bar, just gonna tell you right now, as I'm licking the
And that's
ice
good
cream
for me
off my
too, that
cone. Thank
document.
you. I will have gained
You
5
always need
pounds before
reminders.
convention. Thank you. What,
I just wanted
Andrew?
to
What'd you
share-
say?
Oh, sorry,
Saying
go ahead.
That document's like one of the most important ones even for me too, because every once in a while, even the vets, we have to reread that to remember
yeah.
what we forgot, what we learned originally when we first started.
That's why this is for everybody. I don't care if you're new, if you're in between, if you feel like you're stagnated, if you're on fire, if you ever think you've learned it all, you need to stop. You need new people in your life if you think you know it all, because I am always looking for somebody who knows more than me. Because the moment that I think I know it, you all are in trouble if I think I know it all. Good God, did never want to think that. You always want to be learning. So that's what this is about. Okay. It's about learning. Okay, Sue Ann, I said I was going to give you your chance and then I squirreled. So here it is. Take it away. Go ahead.
Okay, so I want to start by addressing a new scam that I found out about. It was actually a church. They claimed to be, we're new visiting a church close to us. We've been going for about 2 months now, and someone approached me and said, well, we're their sister church and here's the fee. And we want $100 gift basket from you to donate. And she goes, well, what do I need from you? And I said, well, here's my contact information. And if you call me tomorrow, we can talk more about it. And it has been over a month and not a peep. I went back to this church that we were visiting. I said, hey, is this your sister church? And they actually said, no, it is not an affiliate. So it's something to realize.
What I have to say about that is hashtag Jesus fix it and hashtag Jesus take the whole car, because Jesus don't play with stuff like that. I'm just going to tell you, because you do not use the house of God for that stuff, but I'm just going to let go because lightning will strike. That's all I'm going to say. Lightning will strike. So thanks for letting us know that, y'all.
So-
you don't know, church people don't do it.
One thing that I've picked up lately was, you know how we all have logos on our cars?
Mm-hmm.
Put one on your house window and put a little light behind it and keep your blinds shut, because that will give you all access of being able to promote your business from home.
Unless you have an
All
HOA and then they fine you. So make sure you check out, because
Yeah,
I
make
got
sure
an
you know your
HOA.
locals,
They would
'cause
say,
I-
look, girl, close the bar down and no strippers, because that blinky light right there, you need to just let it go. That's what my HOA
I
would
have an
say.
Avon lawn sign that I got back when I first started, when they still made those. The problem is at the time I lived with my parents, so I was like, nope, can't do that. And then I've had 2 apartments where the first apartment, nope, can't do that. Second apartment, I live on the 2nd floor and there's no yard and no one can see the signs. But I'm saving it for that one day that I'm going to live somewhere where I can use
And here's
it.
the key. The key, like Sue Ann says, if you can, it ain't a bad idea. If you don't have a sign on your vehicle telling people what you're doing, what's wrong with you people? I don't want to mess up my car. You don't want business. That's all
Car
I'm
magnets on sale right now. There's little small ones we put on your trunk. That way when someone's riding your bumper, they can see you sell Avon.
Right. Get off my bumper unless you want Avon. I'm your girl. Hit me, please. And then after we settle up, you can buy Avon. It's good. Yes. All right. We are
Another point I wanted to say was to check Facebook, see what old reps are getting rid of. I use everything. I don't care how old it is. I will find a way to use it and make it current. And kind of bringing to my very last point, out here when I wasn't allowed to be out here, and I put that in quotations because once I bought my house, no one seemed to have a problem with the fact I was here. I joined the PTO. I became on the board for our local scout troops. And then I connected with the local food banks and school banks, so that way kids that couldn't afford makeup, I told them that I would make sure that it was affordable to them. For food banks, whatever they're missing, I would work with the local churches to make sure that we filled those needs using Avon products And through the PTO, that meant all the teachers' gifts. And then with Scouts, that bug guard and sunscreen sure comes in handy as a business booster. So that's all I got, but I wanted to share what has
So when you
boosted
say
my
the
business.
pantries, are you donating to the pantries? Is that what you're doing, Sue Ann?
So some of the churches and members of the churches actually come to me with what the church currently needs. And
Okay.
then I, depending on how well I know them or which pantry it's going to, I will actually give 100% of my commissions and sell it to them, being the church pantry or the local food pantry. I sell it to them at my cost. So that way, all it is I'm not making any money off of it, but I'm helping the community around me. If
You're paying it forward. You're paying it forward.
And advertising.
Yeah, I get it 100%. That's a great way to pay it forward. And you look where Avon has, especially in the past, been the company who definitely has done a lot of that. I wish, I'm not going to bring up bad subjects. I wish they would bring but I'm going to bring it up. You hear me? I'm doing it anyways. I wish they would bring back our stuffed animals fundraisers.
Me too.
We all know how successful they were, and we know how successful they can be again. LG has not caught on yet. They will, because they get tired of hearing people like me always on their back, like, "Go, shut up, Molly, shut up." They say, "Shut up."
Toys for Christmas.
Yeah, all
a
of that.
couple of them, just a couple, like a little Christmas toy catalog, because people miss JCPenney's and Sears. They want that toy catalog. You know, it's just a little tiny one.
They do, but I'm going to say this first, and this goes for the same thing I just said, not trying to bring up a sore tub. They've got to get our products straight now, so that when they put bundles together, everything is there. When they get all that right, I'm sure they're going to look into everything else. But right now, put my products in the box. That's what I have to say about that. So that is it. You said the book's got to put it in that box, or you stop not putting my products in the box. So that is what we're doing. Okay. Oh my goodness, Keisha. Yet you thought we were going to say nothing. Okay, Keisha's going to talk, and then we're going to say goodbye. Come on, Keisha.
Yes, save the best for last, Molly.
Yes,
I was
girl.
on the bus.
Yes, girl.
Now I'm home, and this probably should affect everybody on the call. Do you know what concern corporate has about this pending UPS strike?
They're staying very in touch with it as far as, what's going on and how. Look, UPS has got to have a way that they're going to deal with this. Come on, they deliver 90% of what's out there except Amazon, and sometimes Amazon. They are very aware. There's not a lot of to put a different strategy in place for a few weeks would cost them more than seeing how this is going to play out. Because when you're talking 250,000 representatives and you have to sign agreements and everything else for other companies, that just doesn't even make sense. And I personally think that they're going to figure it out. Like everybody else, we may see something to let them know they're serious. But, look, I love my UPS people, but get your tail back out there to work. I got products to deliver to people. So hopefully it won't go there, but they are very aware. They're very aware that it could, mess up deliveries a little bit for us. But like with any strike, I don't think, Keisha, it's going to last forever. I'm not also going to be the person who's going to sit here and tell you that it won't affect anything, because that's ridiculous to think that it wouldn't. But we're going to do what we've always done. We're going to ride it out. Avon cannot make that go one way or another. So we're just going to, I would tell y'all, if you know what, pray that this goes smooth, pray that they come to terms, pray that it doesn't affect anything we're doing, and just keep doing business, because Avon will figure it out. They'll figure it out for sure.
I have a plan in place just in case it happens.
You have a plan?
Yes.
Okay.
So what I'm doing is, one, I'm closely watching what's going on with it. And if I see that it's imminent, I'm going to put out there to my customers, if you need something, order it now before this does happen. Otherwise, you may have to wait a while. So get those orders out in now before it happens. If I see it's going to it could be happening. And then also work with what I have in stock to try to meet the needs. It's like, hey, I got this right now to tide you over until I can get it for you.
Yeah, I'm not somebody who wants it. Look, there are a lot of people who don't even know this is happening. If you think I'm going to my 500 and something customers and I'm gonna tell them, hey, strike's gonna happen, so buy now. I'm not gonna do that because then he throws everybody into a hissy fit. But your customers better than anybody else. That's just not a place I want to go. I'm more of the person who says, we know this has happened. We know you're not happy with it. I'm not happy with it either. But once they resolve it, we're back in business. So what can I get you with what I have right now? How can I make your life easier? So that's really what Andrew's saying. But my cause of action is I'm gonna wait till it happened because I'm hoping these guys really like to get paid and they want to come back to work and do all that good stuff. Susan, it's so good to see your face. Look at Susan Weiss down there. I just love her. Hi, baby. Good to see you. Miss Joyce is on here. I'm just seeing some people I didn't say hi to before. Hi, Miss Nancy. Miss Darlene's on here.
Molly.
Hi, Molly.
Love you guys so much. I know. Look, when
I
you get
unmuted.
things this size, you can't talk to everybody. I hate it. What, Susan?
So I can tell you I love you too.
I love you, girl. I love you. What'd you have for dinner tonight? I saw you was cooking.
Salmon and rice
Oh.
roni.
I'm so jealous. Look, we could have salmon and then we could go for ice cream at the ice cream place because I can't wait to do that. Oh my gosh, it's good. All right, guys, I'm going to say goodbye. Keep your fingers crossed that we can get this recording out in the next day or so. Put out the new stuff in 2 weeks. Don't give up on your business. Take your nuggets. Keep working your business, and I will see you soon. Talk to you later.
Molly, this was
Molly.
great. Thank you, Molly.
Thank
Molly.
you.
You're welcome, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye. Love you.
Good night. Good
Thank
night,
you.
everybody. Good night.
Good night.